Hi, folks. Yeah. What just came to me was very true. Yes. About how clever the devil's been in the way he has destroyed the Church of God. Pretty much. Pretty much. Very clever. Because a lot of people will think that if the devil wanted to get rid of the church, he would just get rid of the church. No. If the devil got rid of the church and it was obvious the devil had done it, we'd just build another church, wouldn't we? We'd just start again and learn from that. If it was obvious it was the devil doing it, we'd learn. We would make that right, wouldn't we? Why don't we make it right? Because we don't even know. Because he's done it in a way that he made it all about our own choices. I say our own choices. I didn't really make any in this because I wasn't really part of church. But, okay, I will count myself within those who made choices. That's fine. The reality is, the church chose to have Bible colleges where you train pastors to prepare the message, present the message, perfect the message, and there's another P, practice. Yeah. To prepare, practice, present, and perfect. Perfect and then present, sorry. The order was wrong, but they're the 4 Ps. That's what they're taught there. Okay? Like all colleges, they can't teach every single person individually. They have to teach a syllabus, and that syllabus has to be taught to everyone. That's the world's way. The church, brought the world's way into church with regards to educating and training the ministers for the church. They then went a bit further and said, okay, we want church that wherever you go, if you're a Baptist, if you go to a Baptist church anywhere in the world, we want you to feel at home. So what can we do? Okay? What tells us that? What shows us that? McDonald's. Wherever you go, if you're in America, for example, you go to a McDonald's in your hometown, then you go to another city, another area in America, and you go to a McDonald's there, it's the same. There may be a slight difference in the menu. They may be selling something that yours isn't, but generally speaking, certainly at that point in time, 60s, 70s, they were the same. So therefore, when you went into McDonald's, no matter where you were in America, you felt at home because it looked the same. The furniture was the same. The look on the outside was the same. What they were serving, generally speaking, was the same. The staff dressed the same. Your experience in there would have been the same as what it would have been at home. So, okay, we need to do this with church. We need to have churches basically the same. Obviously, you're going to have differences because you're going to have different people from different areas. Same as you will staff and people serving you at McDonald's. You'll have different people. You may, in a McDonald's in a different area of America, you may have different weather. So you may have the doors closed most of the time. Where you come from, you may have the doors open because it's hot. You may have the air conditioning. In another area, you'll have the heating on. So obviously things are going to feel slightly different. But generally speaking, it's going to be the same. And they just did that with church. They said, okay, we will have 3 songs. We will have the announcements. We will have a tiny bit of prayer time somewhere in the service. We will have 40 minutes of ministry. Then we'll have tea or coffee either before the service or afterwards, where people can have a tiny bit of incredibly shallow fellowship, and then we go home. And that's what they did. So they invited the world in that way. So they said, we're going to take the world, we're going to have that. So in two major areas, they've let the devil in. In two major areas. Then what do? In order to, when they're trying to find ministers or people to help to lead different areas of the church, they do things like a police check. Where's that from? From the world. So they bring that in. Instead of going to God, they don't really go to God about it. Why would they? They've done a police check. They're safe, right? Because they've done a police check, it only tells them if someone has been guilty already. It doesn't tell them whether somebody is going to do something in the future, right? God can tell them that, but they won't go to God because they have to wait. Police check, they still have to wait, but it's quicker. Generally speaking, it's quicker than going to God. Plus, insurance will cover you for doing a police check rather than going to God. So, there you go. They do it that way. All the things they do, pretty much everything, is according to the world. Everything is according to the world. And it's been a slow process where they've gradually turned the church into a demonic version because they just keep on bringing the devil in. Let the devil in that area, let the devil in that area, let the devil in that area, let the devil in that area. They're turning it more and more and more away from what God wanted. Or, okay, can we really say away from what God wanted? No, from what God wanted. Not really, because, we are in the last days, and the last days was probably beginning around about or in the beginnings of the last days, around about the time when this first started happening. So therefore, okay, at that point in time, was it the will of God for that to be? Yeah. We read that in the word of God, don't we? Come on. As I've said before, and it's true, the Antichrist cannot come if the church is doing things according to God. According to the nature of God, if the church was doing things according to the nature of God, the Antichrist could not come. Right? Simple. Could not. Because the church would be standing against him. Right? Could not come. Would not be possible. But we've had a lot of things happening recently where the church has been in support of it, which is anti-God. Right? So therefore, obviously the Antichrist will be welcomed by the church that we have right now. And it's supposed to be the case. Of course, as I said recently, and it's true, why would God have it written in the book of Revelations that you cannot take the 666, the mark of the beast, and the mark of God? Unless those people in church, or more to the point, those people with the mark of God are considering getting the 666. Right? The church has to be that bad that people of God are considering doing things according to the Antichrist. Bowing down to the Antichrist. Right? So here we are. Now, as I said, that doesn't mean you can't have people learning about the nature of God and walking according to the nature of God. You can. But that's not going to be the mass. That's going to be massively the minority. Massively the minority. The majority of people that claim to be of God will be bowing down to the Antichrist. That's the way. That's going to be how it is. And as I say, because the devil has been very clever in knowing the best way to destroy the church is for them to not realizing. Sorry, brain isn't working. For them to not realize that you're destroying the church. It's the best way to do it. Get them to be the ones to make all the decisions so that, yeah. So therefore, you've got people in the church taking pride in where the church is now because they made it that way, right? Not realising they'd done exactly what the devil wanted. They brought the devil into the church. So is the church safe? Is it a safe space? No.